I'm Mark Anderson. I'm one of the artistic co-directors of Theater Gigante, and I directed this production of Dust. When you think of somebody who's endured a large and different government and dealt with being at the mercy of corrupt officials or corrupt employers, trying to make a living, trying to work things out for the two of you and your two kids, there's a lot of wounds and a lot of pains and pressures that these characters endure.
It's an interesting show. It's very topical. We saw it in Slovenia in 2011, in Slovenian, and we just loved the show. So we did the play in 2013, and it seems now even more appropriate for the times that we're living in. So thematically, I just feel that it's a perfect show to do. As a performer in it, I think it's one of the hardest shows I've ever done. The script is very difficult to memorize because the characters, it's like thinking, and the characters just jump from one thought to another. There's all these transitions that don't sensically necessarily stick together, just like when you are having a conversation or a discussion at home with your partner.
And you didn't buy us anything?
Because the bastards didn't pay the whole month, but only 10 days.
And where did that money go?
Come on, a couple of thousand when I just made 600 million. Where is it?
Someplace else.
Well, what's the matter with that place?
It was there already.
I think that on reading it, on first reading alone by myself, I didn't know what to make of it. The rhythms and the repetition patterns became much more clear when we started doing some table work. And the real challenge, some topics are talked about over and over again, but in different ways from different approaches.
The way this play is written, which is very difficult for the actors, the logic of a particular discussion suddenly gets derailed, and one of the people jumps over to a completely different topic. It's related, but these abrupt changes are kind of following how the mind goes. And these are, as the play moves along, the minds of the characters become a bit more pushed. There was a lot more to kind of sort through in just a given moment of thinking.
I'm working through what is she feeling when, when are her feelings really intense, when is she exasperated, when is she scared, and so on and so forth, because her journey is quite extreme.
I think the most interesting process has been like sitting in on rehearsals and hearing the motivations and intentions behind the words that are being said and when they're being said. And I think just having that background has made the process a lot easier.
Working with Isabelle, my wife, and our good friend Michael was mostly just kind of fun because everybody wanted to work hard and have a good time, and it was difficult and complicated. It's a complicated script and a challenging story, and for both of them, as things progressed, they sort of found their ways of finding the organic behavior that they had, physicality or speech-wise, how that meshed up with the character. And I would look for those things too. I would look for how to illuminate a moment or fill out a moment or change the weather or something, but having it come organically. So I didn't like stand up and say, here, do this, but sometimes I have to, as director, I have to stand up and kind of walk through the moment or feel it in order to explain it to the actor in terms of what we might try or what I'm looking for. We started with the idea of having a rear projected image of the kitchen that these people live in, drawn, painted, whatever, by our friend Carri Skoczek. And in the course of working with her, and she sketched a few possibilities, we looked at things, we talked about things, we settled on a certain look, which was drawing and not, she had thought possibly of a lino cut, which would give a really strong line, but the idea that it was kind of sketchy, and then because she knows what she's doing, she was able to take that same look from the drawing and put it onto the physical objects, the table, the chairs, bookshelf, other parts of the kitchen. And some of those parts of the kitchen are kind of abstracted. They're removed from the rear projection and placed on a pedestal, for example, some plates or a cup or a bowl, just to isolate different elements of the physical space.
It seems really simple, just put a projected image on there, but you have to worry about color saturation, hue, throw distance, as well as a number of other technical sort of things that have to get set in place. Not to mention just figuring things out as we go along. I mean, that's a large process. Part of the process in creating theater is trying things and seeing if they work and if they don't. You have to have an idea and you have to manifest that idea somehow. It's a really great tool to be able to use because you can do a lot of different things with projection, and being able to take those projections and meld them in the world of the show is really, really great.
This has been interesting for me because I'm Slovenian, and many years ago I was a ballet dancer dancing in the ballet company in Yugoslavia. And at that time, it was still part of the communist regime. My parents were from there. I had always wanted to be there for a while, live there, and so I went and auditioned for the ballet company there. So a lot of the things that are brought up is familiar to me. So in that respect, it's been really kind of interesting. In fact, one of our props I found in my aunt's kitchen.
You know, in an hour, 15 or whatever it ends up being, realizing that when it's over, they've gone through a lifetime of regurgitation, taking the lid off of things, dreams, and, you know, the depths of despair, all in that short amount of time.